Are you tired of constantly seeking validation from others, only to feel let down and unfulfilled? Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live a life free from the need to impress anyone? In this video, we'll explore the Stoic principles that can help you break free from the shackles of external validation and live a more authentic, fulfilling life. Lesson 1. Time-consuming task. Stoicism posits that approval from others is temporary and out of our control, and focusing on things we can change, such as thoughts, actions, and emotions, can provide a more stable source of happiness. By putting things in line with our values and helping us grow, we can focus our energy on things that truly matter, such as doing things that make us happy, investing in supportive relationships, or setting aside time for self-improvement. Mindful reflection is a useful Stoic exercise that helps us better handle our time by reflecting on how we spend our time and whether they were done to please others or because they were true to our interests and values. By doing this daily practice, we can become more aware of how we seek approval from others and choose to change how we act. Setting clear limits is essential to protect our time, as it means turning down plans and actions that aren't in line with our true purpose. It takes bravery to stick to our beliefs, even when others try to get us to fit in or look good. By setting limits, we can ensure that our time is spent on the things that are most important to us and not on things that other people think are more important. The idea of minimalism is another Stoic principle that can help us better manage our time. This doesn't mean living with fewer things, but focusing on what really matters and making our responsibilities simpler. By taking a minimalist approach to our time, we can eliminate chores and activities that don't add value to our lives and focus on the things that do. Stoicism teaches us that inner peace and happiness are what matter, and realizing that we don't need to please others to feel good about ourselves or successful can free us from the constant need for approval from others. Being at peace with ourselves allows us to live more honestly and with purpose, making the most of the time we have. Stoicism provides a strong way to take back our time and spend it on things that truly matter, leading to a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Lesson 2. True satisfaction comes from within. Stoicism emphasizes that true happiness comes from within ourselves, rather than external praise. It emphasizes the importance of focusing on one's thoughts, actions, and virtues, rather than seeking external support. The Stoics believe that traits like temperance, courage, wisdom, and justice were valuable qualities that contributed to real happiness. Marcus Aurelius stated that the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Wisdom helps us make good choices and judgments, providing peace of mind and clarity. Courage helps us deal with problems and difficulties in a strong and resilient way. Justice ensures fair treatment, building community and good relationships. Temperance helps us stay balanced and in control, encouraging moderation. By focusing on these qualities, we build a strong base for inner happiness that can be easily shaken by external forces. Self-reflection is a useful tool for Stoics, as it allows us to learn more about who we truly are and what makes us truly happy. Seneca's quote highlights the importance of focusing on the here and now and our own feelings instead of worrying about others' lives and the future. By thinking about ourselves, we can find and let go of actions that are done to please other people, placing actions in line with our beliefs and helping us grow as people. This change in perspective helps us find happiness in our own growth and progress instead of in other people's approval or respect. Accepting ourselves as we are, flaws and all, is another way to make ourselves truly happy. Epictetus, another famous Stoic philosopher, advised us to focus on what we can change and accept what we can't. Accepting our flaws and welcoming them as part of our unique journey is part of self-acceptance, leading to peace and happiness that come from knowing and loving ourselves. Stoicism also teaches us to enjoy the simple things in life and value the little things that make us happy. Marcus Aurelius' quote highlights how happiness doesn't depend on money or rank, but on the richness of our inner experiences. By enjoying the present moment, being thankful for what we have, and finding joy in the simple things in life, we can find deep and lasting happiness. Stoicism teaches us that real happiness comes from within ourselves, and by focusing on our inner traits, reflecting on ourselves, and finding joy in the simple things in life, we can overcome the constant need for external approval and find the real sources of our own happiness. Lesson 3. Build meaningful relationships. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of focusing on the quality of our connections rather than the number of them. By focusing on mutual respect and understanding, we can build a support system that aligns with our core values and helps us grow and feel better about ourselves. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, believed that having a few deep connections is crucial for a happy life. These deep ties provide support, understanding, and friendship necessary for a happy life. On the surface level, relationships often lead to misunderstandings, poor communication, and overall unhappiness. Shared values and respect for each other are the building blocks of good partnerships. By putting time and effort into maintaining these relationships, we create a safe space that helps people grow and feel good about themselves. These connections give us strength and help us handle life's obstacles with more determination. Being honest is a key part of making connections that matter. Showing others who we really are builds trust and makes room for real relationships to grow. Pretending to be someone we're not just to impress other people ends up creating shallow relationships that aren't real. Being present when talking to each other is just as important. Active listening and being involved helps people understand and connect with each other better, which makes the friendship stronger over time. Respect for each other is the foundation of any friendship that matters. Stoicism tells us to accept people as they are and not try to change them into someone we want them to be. To show respect, we have to accept other people's flaws and mistakes, just like we accept our own. In order to build connections based on understanding and acceptance, we need to show empathy and compassion. Respecting someone also means valuing their wants and limits. There should be an equal amount of giving and taking in a healthy relationship so that both people feel valued and encouraged. This balance creates a sense of fairness and teamwork, which makes the connection between people stronger. Relationships that matter are two-way streets. We should think about what we can get from other people and what we can give them without expecting anything in return. Sharing our feelings, thoughts, and experiences with others makes us closer and helps us understand them better. A real friend or partner accepts us as we are and pushes us to grow and get better. Stoicism says that growing as a person is a lifetime journey, and having relationships that support you can make this process easier. Helping others grow as people is just as important. Despite disagreements and mistakes, how we deal with them determines the strength and depth of our relationships. Forgiving someone helps us get over hurt and anger, leading to a better and more peaceful friendship. Understanding helps us see things from the other person's point of view, making us more empathetic and compassionate. Having deep relationships is an essential part of having a real and fulfilling life. By focusing on quality over number, being present and honest, promoting mutual respect, sharing and supporting personal growth, and practicing forgiveness and understanding, we can build a community that supports and cares for each other and mirrors our deepest values. Lesson 4. Authenticity breeds confidence. Self-confidence is a crucial aspect of personal growth, as it stems from accepting one's true self and living by one's values. According to Stoicism, self-acceptance is the first step towards authenticity, which involves accepting one's flaws and strengths without judgment. This approach allows individuals to feel at peace with themselves and build a strong sense of self-worth that is not affected by external factors. Integrity is another key aspect of self-acceptance, as it involves making choices based on what one believes is right, rather than what others may think is cool. This approach fosters self-respect and confidence. Epictetus, a Stoic thinker, emphasized the importance of following morality to become the best version of oneself, emphasizing the importance of honesty and self-control in building confidence. Authenticity also fosters relationships based on mutual respect and understanding, making people feel more confident and like they fit in. People who value and respect us for who we are will come to us when we live our lives honestly, creating an encouraging space that boosts our confidence even more. Being authentic helps people bond and form relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. Fear of being judged is a significant barrier to self-confidence, as it keeps people from being themselves. Stoicism advises focusing on what can be changed rather than worrying about what others think. By letting go of this fear, we can live our lives honestly and with confidence. Being authentic also means being open to being hurt. Being honest about our feelings, experiences, and problems allows us to connect deeply with others and learn from our mistakes. Being vulnerable shows real confidence when we are not afraid to show the world who we really are. Being real is a continuous process that requires constant self-improvement. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of thinking about our past and striving for personal growth. This dedication to personal growth gives us a lot of confidence. Embracing one's true self, being honest, overcoming fear of judgment, being open and vulnerable, and making a promise to keep improving ourselves can help build deep, strong, and unwavering confidence. This confidence not only improves our own lives, but also encourages others to be themselves and live honestly. Lesson 5. Less stress and anxiety. Trying to impress other people all the time is a big source of stress and worry. We often get stuck in a never-ending loop of wanting to be liked, being afraid of being judged, and comparing ourselves to others. Focusing on what we can control and letting go of the rest are useful ways to deal with these negative feelings according to Stoicism. This lesson is about breaking free from the chains of outside approval and choosing a life of peace and quiet within. Stoicism is based on the idea of the dichotomy of control, which helps us understand what we can and cannot control. So said Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, "Some things we can control and others we can't. We are in charge of our own thoughts, actions, and responses, but not of other people's thoughts, actions, or outside events." We can greatly lower our stress and worry by committing to this idea. We don't have to worry about how other people see us. We can focus on what we think and do. This new way of looking at things helps us let go of the need for praise from other people and find peace in knowing that we did our best based on our own values. Stoicism tells us to accept that everything changes. Everything in life changes, even other people's views. Realizing this helps us let go of the need to please other people because we know that their opinions will only last for a short time and won't matter in the end. The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Alexander the Great, a Stoic philosopher, said, "We can free ourselves from the stress of trying to control how other people see us by realizing that everything is always changing. We can focus on the present moment and live more carefully and honestly when we accept what is." A Stoic technique called negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum, involves picturing the worst things that could happen. This practice makes us mentally ready for problems that might come up and makes us stronger. When we think about the worst things that could happen, fear and worry lose some of their power over us. If we're afraid that other people will think badly of us, we can imagine what it would be like if they did. We can see that we would be able to handle and move on, even in the worst case, if we think about this situation. This mental planning makes us less afraid of bad things happening and lets us act with more confidence and honesty. Stoicism says that the only way to find true happiness and peace is to work on being good. We can choose to have virtues like knowledge, courage, fairness, and moderation, which are the building blocks of a happy life. If we work on building these inner virtues, we can stop worrying about what other people think of us and start focusing on our own growth and character. When we put inner virtue first, we care less about how other people see us and more about living our lives according to our ideals. Focusing on ourselves instead of trying to please others makes us less stressed and anxious because we are happy with our own moral growth. Stoics say that mindfulness and meditation are two of the best ways to deal with worry and anxiety. Mindfulness helps us pay more attention to our feelings and thoughts in the present time. Being aware of this lets us notice our worries without letting them take over. When we meditate, especially on Stoic ideas, it helps us become more aware of what we can control and creates a calm inner state. Regular meditation can help us understand the teachings of the Stoics better and use them more successfully in our daily lives, which can lower our stress and anxiety. Trying to please other people is a big source of stress and worry in our lives. We can get rid of this weight, though, by following Stoic ideas like the dichotomy of power, accepting that things change, negative visualization, and developing inner virtue. We can live a more peaceful and honest life if we focus on what we can change and let go of the need for approval from other people. Stoicism is an old and useful way to deal with stress and worry, and it can help us find true happiness and peace within ourselves. Lesson 6. Self-validation. Self-validation is a strong idea that comes from Stoic thought. It stresses how important it is to get your sense of self-worth from inside yourself instead of getting it from praise or support from other people. Having a strong sense of self-validation makes us stronger, more grounded, and more independent. It also makes us less affected by what other people think. This inner strength is very important for living an honest and meaningful life. Being self-aware means knowing our values, views, strengths, and weaknesses inside out. Regular self-reflection, which is a Stoic practice, is a key part of developing this knowledge. We become more clear about who we are and what we stand for when we take time every day to think about what we did, what we thought, and how we felt. Stoics say that writing in a diary is a useful way to think about yourself. Writing down our feelings and events helps us deal with them better and shows how we've grown as people. One of the most well-known Stoic philosophers, Marcus Aurelius, wrote in a journal about his ideas and actions. Even though being Roman emperor put a lot of stress on him, this practice helped him stay true to his values and keep his inner peace. Another important part of self-validation is setting personal standards based on our beliefs. We use these standards as internal standards to check our progress and see how well we're doing. We make sure that our actions are in line with our values by setting standards and working hard to meet them. This gives us a strong sense of self-worth. Our personal standards should be reasonable, doable, and in line with our long-term goals. They should show what we value most in life, like being honest, kind, hardworking, or brave. When we follow these rules, we validate ourselves mentally, so we don't need validation from other people as much. Self-compassion is a part of self-validation that is often forgotten. It means being kind and understanding to ourselves the same way we would be with a friend. The Stoics knew that being kind to ourselves is important because it helps us stay balanced and strong. Being kind to ourselves when we mess up or experience setbacks helps us learn and grow without being too hard on ourselves. It keeps our sense of self-worth strong and helps us keep a good view of ourselves. When we are kind to ourselves, we create a safe space inside ourselves that helps us grow and be healthy. Focusing on your own successes instead of other people's is another important part of self-validation. People often celebrate external achievements like job success or social approval, but these can only last for a short time and aren't always a reliable source of validation. On the other hand, internal achievements like personal growth, emotional strength, and staying true to our beliefs give us lasting and meaningful self-worth. By putting our own accomplishments first, we change our attention from wanting other people to like us to reaching our full potential. This change gives us the freedom to live our lives honestly and with confidence, no matter what other people think. Stoicism also teaches that being alone and thinking about things can help you feel good about yourself. When we spend time alone, we can tune out outside forces and get in touch with our true selves. It gives us a chance to think about our ideals, goals, and actions, which helps us become more self-aware and clear. Accepting silence doesn't mean cutting ourselves off from other people. It means finding balance. It means taking regular breaks from the noise of everyday life to think deeply about important things. This practice keeps us grounded and true to who we are, which gives us a strong sense of self-validation. Fear of being judged by others is a big reason why people don't self-validate. Stoicism teaches us to get over this fear by realizing that we can't change what other people think. It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it. Epictetus said, "This principle helps us remember that we can control how we feel and respond, but not how other people judge us." We can get rid of the fear of being judged by focusing on the things we can change and letting go of the rest. This freedom lets us live more honestly and with more confidence, which makes us feel good about ourselves from the inside out. Self-validation is an important part of Stoic thought because it leads to true independence and peace of mind. We can build a strong sense of self-worth that doesn't waver by becoming more self-aware, setting personal standards, practicing self-compassion, focusing on our own successes, enjoying solitude, and getting over our fear of being judged. This inner strength gives us the freedom to live a real, honest, and happy life without having to try to please other people. Through self-validation, we can be truly happy and live in line with our most important beliefs and principles. Lesson 7. Live authentically. To live an authentic life, our deeds must be in line with our values. Stoicism tells us that being honest and doing the right thing are the most important things in life. When our actions are based on our core values, we create a peaceful inner life that isn't easily upset by events or views in the outside world. To keep this connection, we need to regularly check in with ourselves to make sure that our choices and actions are in line with our values. If being honest is important to you, then living truly means always trying to be honest, even when it's hard or annoying. This could mean turning down chances that require lying or facing facts about ourselves that are hard to face. For being so honest, you'll have a clean mind and never have to worry about living a lie again. Herodotus, a Stoic thinker, said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mastering ourselves and our deeds gives us freedom that doesn't depend on getting approval from other people. One of the most freeing things about Stoic thought is that it stresses how unique each person's journey is. The Stoics knew that comparing yourself to others is pointless and often makes you feel worse. They said that people should focus on their own road and progress. From this point of view, we can enjoy our own progress and accomplishments without always needing to compare ourselves to others or get approval from them. Recognizing that our journey is special means recognizing that the things we do, the problems we face, and the successes we achieve are our own. When we accept ourselves as they are, we no longer judge our worth by the constantly changing standards of society. This makes us feel peaceful and happy. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic thinkers, said, "Do not waste the rest of your life thinking about other people when you can be thinking about something useful for everyone." We can live more honestly and with purpose if we focus our thoughts and actions on our own growth and the good of everyone else. To live truly, you also have to make a promise to keep improving yourself. The Stoics thought that people should always be seeking virtue and knowledge, and they saw life as a journey of personal growth. This means that we should regularly think about how we act, learn from our mistakes, and try to improve ourselves. This process is very personal and internal. It focuses on our own standards and goals instead of what other people expect of us. Setting goals for self-improvement helps us develop a strong and independent sense of self-worth. Through our efforts and success, we learn to validate ourselves, so we depend less on validation from other people. This internal validation is more stable and long-lasting because it comes from our own efforts and beliefs instead of the opinions of others, which can change at any time. Accepting our flaws is another important part of living a real life. Stoicism teaches that people are flawed by nature and that trying to be perfect is pointless and impossible. We can live more honestly and with more kindness if we accept our flaws. This acceptance doesn't mean being smug. It means realizing that mistakes are a normal part of being human and a chance to grow. When we accept the flaws in ourselves, we're less likely to put on a front or try to impress others by looking perfect. We can instead show who we really are, with all of our skills and weaknesses. Being real helps people connect with you more deeply because people are drawn to those who are real and easy to relate to. To live an honest life, you have to find happiness in the present. Stoicism teaches us to be present and aware, and to enjoy the here and now instead of worrying all the time about the past or the future. Focusing on the present lets us fully enjoy our lives and experiences, finding happiness and satisfaction in the little things that happen every day. As we become more aware of our own experiences and wants, this mindful way of living makes us less interested in impressing other people. We learn to enjoy our journey as it happens instead of looking for approval from other people to make us feel good about ourselves. According to Stoicism, living an authentic life means making sure that our actions are in line with our ideals, accepting our flaws, putting self-improvement first, and finding joy in the present moment. By following these rules, we can stop trying so hard to please other people and start living a life that is true to who we are. This kind of honest living not only makes you happy, but it also encourages others to be themselves, which leads to more honest and important connections.